Hey guys, welcome to the Next Level Official Podcast, where we are talking about gaming news and whatever's out there. We're here with the gents, Palo, and New Face Games. I am one of your hosts, Speedy.
I'm
What's on
the
the
other
agenda?
host.
What's
New
on the
Face.
I thought you were
what's
going
on
to
these-
say you're going to be the glory host on the mic. Come on.
Whoa!
Come on.
I don't know
Whoa.
what kind of TV shows you've been watching lately, or short films.
Are you watching Deep Space Nine again or something? Or like, what have you been watching? Like
Deep Space 10.
Deep Space 10?
Unfiltered.
Oh God.
All right, man. Oh shit! It says internet is unstable, so watch out, guys.
Uh-oh.
It might be
Uh-oh.
Paloplex coming down here over here.
That's
what it is.
So
this is the only way we roll.
in a week of not a lot happening at the movie theaters, Space Jam did finally drop.
It was
The
number one,
King,
guys. It was
LeBron
number one.
James beating out Black Widow. So we had some
mean-
critics talking a little trashy trash, quote
So-
unquote. Critics have not been impressed with Space Jam 2, some calling it WB Warner Brothers marketing executives' wet dream.
So
Yeah.
I agree.
So let
Yeah.
me ask you this: before Space Jam came out, how
Two.
excited were you guys for it to before Space Jam 2 came out? How excited were you guys for it to drop?
Not at all.
You know, it's really hard because
I really
I-
was because I love the first one.
I love the first one, but I loved it because of Michael Jordan, right?
It was
True.
Michael Jordan.
And I don't really have the same connection like some of the younger people do to LeBron James as being the top best player, bestest.
He's a self-proclaimed king.
And so, yeah, did he even give himself that name? Like, it was probably some
Oh,
like
yeah.
junior rec league
No,
group that gave him
And
that.
they just
No, there was an interview at which he was with all his peers, and he literally said, "That's when I knew I became the greatest player of all time." That shot, and I was
Oh,
like,
my
and
God.
I was like,
It was like some JV basketball game shooting. Beside the point. Yeah, I tried watching it. I got through about a third of it, then fell asleep and woke up to probably the best part, which was the basketball scenes. And it wasn't because of LeBron James, it was because of the tunes, like Tweety Bird doing something funny, the announcements. I just did not have a connection to LeBron James. And in fact, I thought he was a terrible actor. And it wasn't like Michael Jordan was that great of an actor in the first one, but like this one was like, it was bad. It was like 30 minutes too long for me, even the beginning where I fell asleep. I don't know.
I mean, a bunch of the scenes were just way too forced, and it was just, if the best way I could describe it is that, WB with their DC movies and everything else, and
They told you
just
about
so much,
everything.
so
They
much
told you.
self-advertisement. If you wanted to watch a freaking production company suck its own dick, this was the fucking movie. It's the best way I can fucking describe it. It was that fucking pathetic. Every fucking moment was a fucking advertisement for Warner Brothers or for fucking LeBron. I'm the fucking king. Yeah, let's just call this guy the king. Oh, hey guys, there's the Matrix here. Hey, Granny's doing the Matrix again. Hey, well, Granny's doing Matrix again.
And
I
if
hate
you
that
please
movie.
send your emails and concerns to palogrande@gmail.com. Please,
so
just send those out there.
so I
I mean, come on.
So I totally get what you were saying. I was actually really excited for it to drop because of the
I
fact
was
that
excited.
I wanted to see if it could honestly possibly take Space Jam to the next level, right? And not
Nope.
only that,
Mhm.
but because of the production value and the amount of money that was spent to make Space Jam 2 look like, they put a lot of effort into that movie. So once I started watching it and I started listening to the acting and everything that was going on, I felt the same way Speedy did. It was super underwhelming, not only by LeBron James's acting, but honestly, Don Cheadle's character, which was to me almost like the centerpiece of how everything became, just really didn't fit. Like it
wasn't a great antagonist. It was just kind of like all over the.
And that's one thing I love the original one so much because of the whole space thing, and then the Monstars, like them becoming and taking what they took the essence of the players to become them. And I just thought that was so funny and so quirky and such a Warner Brothers type deal, that this whole thing was way more Matrixy than I wanted it to be. And throwing the tunes in there, the only part I liked honestly was towards the end when the tunes were in like the real world. So they were like actual like rendered versions of their tune selves, looked freaking amazing. And just to see all of the Warner Brothers characters right in the background, in the stands and in the bleachers was cool. Other than that, it was just flash and no substance. And
it was just a lot. And I mean, like, honestly, like, I get LeBron wanting to take his stuff to the next level, and not that Jordan was that great of an actor too, but I felt like there was a little bit more heart to that movie than there was to this one.
Right,
and then like, even with the voice acting, it sounded so flat. Like there was no inflection. It was like, hey, where are we going? I am not a tune. It was like he just walked into the studio and he's like, let's throw this out there, guys. I'm gonna be able to hit this out of the park. And it just completely fell flat. But to his point, with all the comics, he did the comments out there. He did clap back this weekend and tweeting that it was number one at the box office, beating out Black Widow considerably for first place.
When there's nothing,
I'm not sure. I'm not sure that's that great.
One.
I'm sure that's not a great thing, just because they're on multiple platforms and they're not just strictly at the movie theater. HBO Max for this particular one here. I don't know what to tell him. Like, it just was not a good movie.
Clap back, bro. Clap back. Dude, I want to tell you this. I want to ask you guys a question. And if we were per se in a position where everything was like wholeheartly back to normal, right? Theaters were in full production, movies were rolling out like, weekly basis. Friday was a happening thing. Everyone was going to the movies. Would you feel that Space Jam would have been a number one box office hit?
No, I wouldn't have been the first movie I rush out to see. It probably would have been waiting till my kiddo just really, really agrees to go watch it with me. Other than that, it'd probably wait. Like, honestly, like, not that I go to that movies all that much. Like, I'd probably see this at the Cinemark, the $1, showing before I'd spend like $9-10 on a 3D version of this at the movie theater. Like, I'd probably do that for Black Widow, but not for this. I'd probably catch the matinee and kind of move on from there. I don't know about you guys.
No. I mean, this obviously came like in as a sloppy last. If any other movies, like because summertime is just blockbusters, and you're gonna put up Space Jam against other blockbusters that probably would have been in line this summer. Yeah, nope, it would have been just dead last.
So it seems like they spent $150 million to make the movie. They got back so far $250 million. So they're on the plus side for what
they're going to make their money for it.
If you're going to go see this for your kids, yeah, because kids don't know better.
Personally, it's just going to be remembered. I think as it's just going to be a flop kind of movie for me. I
think this is it because this weekend, and that's it. Yeah, it's going back down.
Yeah, I think all of it was just anticipation, and that's what people spent their money on because of the fact that they remembered the 1990s version of Michael Jordan. So therefore, hey man, LeBron should definitely give it up to Michael, because if it wasn't for him, this movie would have definitely fallen flat if there hadn't been a predecessor before it. So, or a version before it. So, thank God. Mike did it again. I wanna be like Mike.
Oh Lord. So along the same cinema front, or Cinema Blend is reporting that Adam Sandler was once pitched a Happy Gilmore video game. So 25 years after the fact, this information's coming out, along with Mike Mecca on the Twitterverse out there. It dropped the actual cover that was going to be used. We'll post it here for you guys to see this, from prepared by Digital Eclipse, a Happy Gilmore game. Would you guys be rocking a Happy Gilmore game on Xbox?
I mean, look, man,
the original Xboxes when it was
original.
Yeah. Original Xbox. I definitely would have. I mean, I played so many shitty games. If this was to be a shitty game, I would have thrown it in the pile.
That's true.
But
That's very true.
You know what was going on during that time frame? We still had a Blockbusters. We could have gone down there and rented this bad boy. We wouldn't have bought
I could have rented the movie and the game.
But here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. There were so many games that we had rented that were so shitty and still stood the test of time and still made their way into other people's mouths.
Quality of stuff.
But the thing is, though, is I mean, it was gonna be a hybrid fighting and golf game. So like way before golfing with friends, way before like all these other fucking golf games.
Tell me this: was Bob Barker gonna be in the game?
Well, yeah, I mean, because it's all
was he
they
still
were
alive
all
during that time frame. Yeah, he was.
Yeah,
right?
they were all. Yeah,
well, yeah, he was in the movie.
The price is wrong, bitch.
So it's just
the only
interesting.
reason why I would have played it.
And we had this conversation previously on Grandma's Boy. There was that other game that they were also pushing for Xbox that was supposed to come out. They actually had coded it. It wasn't that it was just a pipe dream. It was that Demon Slayer or whatever the hell they were playing during that time frame. Like, I want to see that game too. Like, I would just want to see one of these things just to play it. Not gonna say it's any good. I recently played LeBron James Space Jam game on the
which was way better than the movie.
Oh my god, and it was horrible. Like, it was like probably the biggest waste of 30 minutes I've had for this weekend past.
And that just goes to it being a fan made game. That's a fan made game.
Well, at least it was done right. So like it didn't crash. So it's just interesting to see these things. I don't know if I would have played it. I probably would have rented it. I would have come over. We would have laughed. We would have played, and then we would have gotten back on the bus or asked his dad to take us back to Blockbuster to trade it back in and say something was wrong with it.
Or we would have been like GoldenEye.
We would have been doing something else. Like, simply, that was not the best thing.
But definitely just one of those games. Since we hear about it, it could have possibly been. It would have been nice to just seen it.
So also on the front for Xbox, good news for them. They broke their US dollar sales record. So climbing the charts, still not number one, but number one for this month. You know what I'm saying?
For this month.
Hey, and that's good, man. It's definitely a good start for Xbox, and I mean, I hope it continues. But I think Switch is
still number one when you're talking about console sales.
It,
PlayStation, just in general, is too. But the one thing I'm just glad, not talking about Switch, Xbox, or PlayStation Wars that are out there, that their systems being bought up, hopefully by actual users and not these dudes that are reselling. Because hopefully we're getting close to the end of the reselling time period. Where these dudes have just been holding on to shit and just troves and troves of stuff. And really, I've seen it a lot more with PlayStation 5 than I have with Xbox. Like, those prices came down fairly quickly. I don't know if it was just the availability or the perceived ideal of it, but I just want gamers to be able to game without all this extra crap coming.
That's what I'm questioning about, with Nintendo and PlayStation and Xbox, like as far as like their dollar to dollar for sales and stuff like that. But you go to a freaking Target or Walmart, you can't find nothing. There's no Switches.
Dude, I swear to God, I think it's just all online, man. Like, that's really the only way you're going to get anything nowadays, is just get it before, like, when it hits their warehouses. And it actually has not even, I haven't seen a system at the store. Like, remember back in the day when you would go in and there would just be all there stacked up and shit, and you would be like in line trying to buy one. Like, I think COVID changed a lot of that, like them pushing a lot of those streams to those channels to online to be sold primarily and not shipping them to stores. But like, hopefully, I mean, we'll see really how it's going to happen this Christmas go around, right? Because you're going to have a lot of people that didn't get one last Christmas that are going to try to get it this year. So another system that's going to be up for sale, not so much during Christmas, it's going to miss that Q4 time frame, is the new Steam Deck. It sounds bad when you say it. Steam Deck. Who came up with that name?
It's naughty.
Was he 13? He's like, let's call it the Steam Deck. So Steam and Valve are producing a handheld system very similar to a Switch, but much beefier. So
beefier
thoughts?
Beefier.
Q3, baby. Q2,
my thing
baby,
is,
in a year.
So, this is, man, shit. I don't even know where to begin with this. I mean, because I have so many thoughts running through my head. So there's 3 different versions. They have a 64 gig, a 256, and a 512, respectively, that you can purchase. As it stands right now, because it is a Linux base, they're using a Proton type OS, right? Is that like an extension?
That's when they're talking about some of the multiplayer games. But
So-
there's it's a $300 price range on just the base system to the
So-
upgraded system. So it's huge to me.
Yeah, so for those people who like, single player type games, campaign style games or whatnot, this is definitely one of those systems where, me personally, if you're spending this amount of money, you can, at $649 for a 512 gig, you can fully purchase a low end computer for that price. So if your main reasoning for purchasing this is for portability, then hey, fucking more power to you. Currently, for multiplayer capability games such as like Destiny, Apex, Rainbow Six, PUBG, they're not available yet. So it doesn't. There's no length of time as to when it will be ready for that multiplayer upgrade. Currently, right now, it's just not ready. So you'll just have to play it by ear and wait till then. But
I mean, we're not going to see the system for a year right now. It's Q2 is what they're talking about, right? So they got a year to get this thing worked out. They're just taking pre-orders right now. Even pre-orders are now scaling up on the internet, going for $1,000 to like $3,500 for. Please, Lord, do not buy this secondhand.
Let me ask you a question. Guys. If, let's just hypothetically say you had it and you were wanting something of a portability factor, and what would this system have to provide you in order for you to feel like it was worthy? What would it need to do or have, or does it not matter? Doesn't matter. You're just uninterested altogether.
I mean, I wouldn't definitely need, the multiplayer alone. I mean, yeah, it's great to play, to play games, but if it's just going to be single player games, it's going to feel restrictive. So, why are you going to pay so much for something so restrictive?
My thing is like, okay, this is about portability. Like, you got to have a lifestyle where you're mobile a lot of the time for this to even make sense, right? Like, maybe if I was younger,
a businessman doing something,
you catch a train that you're like an hour, like, you can't be in traffic and being playing this shit, right? Like, you gotta be somewhere, or that you want to set it up somewhere else. But like, even at that point, like the docking station for this is the shitter. You're gonna grab it off the wall. Hey, I was playing, now gonna finish up my game. Okay, gotta wait to wipe here real quick. Like, you have to have a lifestyle where you're mobile a lot, right? For this to be anywhere worth it, at least in my mind. Like, even my Switch spends a lot of time, like 99% of its time, in the docking station. It's very rare to, like, we go on trips, maybe it comes out, the kiddo plays it, on the way, the drive that's out there. But even then, like, is that worth like $600 to you, like once every so often?
I mean, you got to think more. It's like for the kids. I mean, because the kids, they're gonna, it's gonna be mostly for them.
I was thinking about that, and that is a good point. And
what kids? What kids need a $700 system in their hands when they get home?
No, that's exactly the point. Are you gonna pay $700 for that for your kid?
But you know what, though? That is a very good point on both ends. But you're right. I feel, and this is what's funny, I don't get a lot of what the kids these days like, because if you look around, they're constantly on mobile, right? Which is why PUBG Mobile and all these other type mobile games are doing so dang well, because of the fact that kids in general, you can do that on your phone already. Right. But here's the thing. So let's just say you have kids that are playing it on their phone, and all of a sudden you have this flashy upgrade in front of them, and you're like, hey guys, you could do this. I'm pretty sure it's going to entice that generation. And I'm pretty sure, and this is where I'm curious, if it's going to do fairly well. Speedy made a good point talking about the Stadia, because it gave you the portability without the spending the money, right? And I don't know exactly the condition in which the Stadia is in. Is it still up and running? Is it still like a thing?
I think it's out there. I'm not
it's
really
still out there, but it's crashing.
So do you feel that with this system coming out, people are going to start looking at alternatives and maybe revive that of the Stadia, or do you just feel no?
No,
No.
this system is trying to fill a spot to compete with what would be the Switch. Because like if you think about systems that are being sold constantly, it's a Switch, right? It's made for a certain type of audience. Your Steam library is not necessarily made for kid-friendly library, right? There's kid-friendly games on Steam, but that's more of like an adult kind of thing to like mid-teenagers and above, right? Those are more serious games. So like the reason Nintendo's outsell anyone is because their library is directly towards the young kid, right? The portability. Like, have you seen how small the Switch lights are? Like that is a system that's not this big, huge, clunky thing that may offer a lot of power. It's not made for that little kid that's going to be playing that, what's a $200 expenditure versus like bottom line $400 expenditure, like to play what? To play PUBG, which you can already play right on your phone. Right. Call of Duties you can play on your phone. You have what, Rainbow Six. That community is still going. I know you play it a lot, but that's not a mobile community to begin with. Yeah. It's not a mobile community. Destiny, like you can play Destiny on your phones right now with the iOS patch with Game Pass. Like, and I bet you that guarantees a better experience than what this will be with the multiplayer issues, like right out the box. So like, I know the idea. It's just like 5 years too late for me for this idea. Like this idea should have come out a little while ago. And with that type of equipment and what they're trying to compete for, I think it's nice and new, and they're going to have a lot of early adopters. But I was an early adopter to Neo Geo Pocket. I love that goddamn thing, and it like disappeared within a year, dude. I was walking around with a system that like no one had a game card for, and I don't even know what happened to it. So, and then Xbox HD player, that was a big flop too. So I am no longer an early adopter to a lot of new technology. I'm what you would call the second wave, along with some new technology that is out there. Elgato has now announced a lot of new streaming equipment. So we're going to throw this to our resident expert noob face down there who knows everything and anything about our gaming stuff.
He is Mr. Elgato.
He isn't Mr. Elgato. He is the one that streams constantly amongst us. Pillow coming in second, me a very, very distant third. Noob, tell us about this new sweet system that's coming out.
Well, from what I heard, this was actually a huge thing going around the streaming world and podcast world. And Elgato, along with AverMedia, have always been two big, huge competitors when it comes to any type of streaming or podcast product, aside from the higher end type equipment that you can also buy. I think one of the things that sets Elgato apart is the fact that they are becoming that company that gives you the full experience, and they're working on everything to give you that, which to me is amazing. And it's kind of one of those things that I had always wanted Elgato to be a part of, creating software along with the hardware to give anybody who purchases one of their items that ability. So with that being said, they've announced quite a few different products to go along with what may be an already growing arsenal of accessories one may have. So to add to that, we have the Stream Deck MK2. The Stream Deck MK2 is the thing that separates it from the other Stream Decks is the fact that I don't know if my Stream Deck can, no, it can't. But on the very back end of it, it has this collapsible type mechanism, so you can adjust the Stream Deck to your viewing distance. The MK2 no longer has that, so it's basically like a solid piece at a good angle, and it just works well. Cool thing about it is even with the Stream Deck and with the MK2 is they also offer different aesthetic faceplates. So you can now take your faceplates off. You can get them customized. So if you want a faceplate to kind of go along with your brand, you can have.
They're adding a lot of customization.
Customization is really awesome. Another huge item that is up for grabs is going to be the Elgato Face Cam. So the Elgato Face Cam is really awesome because it offers like a multi-mount type type swivel. So along with one of the things that Elgato is releasing, they're also releasing a wall mount. So per se, your face cam can attach now to the wall mount easily. You can also have several. So hypothetically, if you wanted multiple views or different things for your webcam to catch or capture, you could set that up as well. The quality of the camera is especially good for all types of lighting situations, which I think is one of streamers' biggest problems, is having that good lighting. There are so many additional accessories that streamers use, whether they're key lights, whether they're ring lights, to kind of, bring that lighting all around, especially if one's using a green screen. So therefore, this lighting adjusts. And actually, we can go ahead and post a review from another channel that actually shows side-by-side comparisons of the different style cameras, including one of the newest AverMedia cameras. And let me tell you this, guys, the Elgato Face Cam, 10 of 10. I mean, it is a solid purchase, and that type of camera could be, going into the future, years to come, you could definitely see that quality. The Elgato Wave XLR is a new microphone interface and digital mixing solution. What makes this so well done is the fact that it pairs with the Wave 3 Elgato it pairs really well with the which one is it, the Wave mic is what it is. And what makes it so well is all of the software that comes with the Elgato Wave. It pretty much it will pretty much dissect all of your audio into different channels. So hypothetically speaking, if we're playing a game and we're in a party together, and let's say the party for me is a little loud, I can turn Speedy down or I can turn Palo down. But on my stream, I can raise my volume separately, keeping the sound on my stream at a good quality while reducing the noise level for me. I mean, the options are endless, and it's really cool, man.
They make it really easy if you want to go to a one-stop shop to get everything that's going to be compatible with each other to put on something that's going to look very high end. And not that we are anyway sponsored by this. We've just had several of the products. I know Noob and I have had. At least we got my Elgato right here. Yes. This would bring you all that sweet candy game film that we see, and some of the lights that are out there. I just think it's just really interesting that they've taken a lot of feedback from what people have been saying about what they really want. And so one thing I'm most excited about is I'm always struggling to find a camera that'll work really well. I've been using Noob's borrowed webcam here for quite some time. It might be time to upgrade to something that's going to be just for me and you guys whenever we're around. But it's exciting stuff that's going to be out there. So if you have a chance, definitely take a look, get on the Elgato website, see if that's something that you're interested in. They also have cam links. I know Palo has a version of something like that he utilizes. Those things work awesome to be able to put film. And if you want to look for different options that are out there. So
yeah, man. So I have the 4K cam link, and the only reason why I currently do not use it was because the SLR camera that I had was an older model Canon T3i Rebel, and that version just didn't work well with it. But in all honesty, any of the more modern
got it with that streaming money
DSLR cameras, I hear work really, really well. And the interface when I was using it worked superb. It was just the camera itself that wasn't giving me what I was trying to go for. So therefore I ended up selling my camera. One thing to mention is that there is a new Elgato Wave Mic Arm and a Wave Mic Arm LP. So there's like two different versions. One of them I believe is more customizable than the others. So in the event that you want a boom arm that's either going to come from under your monitors or over your monitors, there is an adjustable pitch. I think it gives you like a let me see here if one...
they have a lot of customability. Like one goes underneath. It looks really cool. Just for those who kind of have different preferences here. I swing mine out to the side. I know Noob does too. I think Palo has this coming from a different type of angle. It's one of the things that it's really hard to get that you really like. I don't know what you're doing there, but you seem to be getting it really excited.
you can take off the top panel and you can hide all your wires.
A lot of cable
through,
management
through your wave mic, which definitely gives you that good cable management. But I mean, and that's one of the great things about Elgato is that they're definitely utilizing that power for people to stream as like an all-in-one shop. And I'm on board. Fucking on board, Elgato. Right here, baby.
Get your customability out there. Get the money bucks ready to spend so you can get some premium stuff. If you guys are a fan of the Fear Street kind of movie sets, they're getting ready to release some vinyl with cover art inspired by the books. Palo, I'm gonna have to lean on you for the scary movie stuff because I know that's kind of your forte.
Kind of up your alley.
Up my alley. I got you.
Up his back alley. Up his
I haven't
back
seen
alley for sure.
The last one, because these were coming out every Friday for 3 weeks. There's a part 1, 2, and 3. I just caught up with the second one. I haven't seen the third. I think Noob, you saw the third one. Did you see all?
No,
three?
sir. I specifically said I saw 1 and 2.
No, so wow. Well, going up to the second one, I saw the second one there. It reminded me of like the old what was it like Jason and like Friday the 13th, like out in the camp, but
yeah,
I mean,
that's what it mimics. The 78, the camp one.
Yeah,
totally
but it's
mimics that.
So the story is based off of R.L. Stein books, but it's not
Adult
very
version.
It's a very adult version.
You said
Adult.
it very German style. You're like R.L. Stein.
Sorry, my German side came out right there.
Get them. So they're based on hugely popular Fear Street books that were released through the 90s by Stein. And so these adaptations that have been playing on Netflix, they've been coming out. I haven't had a chance to sit down and watch them. I will now that I've finished up Loki here, which we'll talk about in just a second. But it's really interesting that you start seeing some of the merchandising that's going to come out from some of these series. So not only making money on the movie itself, but like now trying to get to your pocketbooks, get some of that nostalgia. Vinyl. You guys own any vinyl?
That's just one more thing for me to get into, and I try to stay away.
Yeah, go get your bow and arrow and show that off.
I shot it. I will fucking shoot you in your asshole.
Noob has a bow and arrow, and he's been really
like you'll
excited.
get the chance.
My 50-pound recurve will fucking go from end to end in your butthole.
Here we go. All that hate.
It's not hate.
All that hate.
Noob's Kevin Costnering it in the backyard. His wife blows in his ears while he's trying to shoot the bow.
It's the side of the eye. Let's get it right. The side of the eye. That makes him twitch.
It's gonna make you twitch.
You can hear the song playing in the back. Sounds like "Why spoon, my lord."
Hello, your butthole's gonna be
your
butthole's gonna be a new quiver for my arrows. You keep talking like that.
There's enough there. See,
wow.
You broke my camera.
Look at that.
Wow.
Your shit's falling apart.
Back.
But
Elgato, please send him something, please, Elgato. You need to get this man up and running.
This 20-year-old Logitech is just not, what it used to be.
He's working off what were those gateway computers? Like the ones with the cow on them. Was that the company Gateway?
Yeah. No. Palo's using an
it's an oldie, but it's somewhat goodie.
No, Palo's using an e-machine. He's using an e-machine. Remember those e-machines?
Wow.
It's okay, baby. Don't let them talk
dude.
to you about that. It's okay. It's okay.
I snorted there. That's how funny that was. So particular tidbit here. The Fear Street films were actually under when they had them, they were going to be really ignited by Fox prior to the Disney acquisition, but then they got from the merger, they got sold off to Netflix. So here you go, Netflix trying to cash in. They're extremely popular. They're on their top 10. So it's good stuff that's out there if you want to watch on Netflix here.
Yeah, they're very good.
To the crux of just currently what's going out there, Loki just wrapped up, dropping a lot of tidbits, trying to realign some of the things that they've been showing with WandaVision out there, the Captain America minor series, Falcon and Little Brother, whatever they called it. And
Little Brother.
now Winter Soldier. And now Loki finished up. For those that have been watching it, I thought it was a great series. I just thought it was well done. Palo, what are your opinions on the MCU Loki?
because somebody that watched it, not like Noob who hasn't watched any of it yet.
God,
He's still on his Superman
this
and
guy is
Lois.
talking shit when this is literally the one show he's fucking watched. He hasn't watched any movie
I watched WandaVision
that we've talked about.
I watched Space Jam, which was
oh my god.
We should
wasn't
not have
that
watched
many
Space
movies.
Jam.
What happened at the end of Space Jam? What was the secret part at the end of Space Jam?
the
If you watched
secret
it.
part. What secret part?
Yeah, that's why I thought you didn't watch it. You
The
didn't
secret
fucking
part
watch
was that it wasted my time. So much hate. It's okay.
Oh my
It's okay.
God. Back to Loki. It
Anyways,
wrapped up.
Loki. No,
Spoiler.
so Loki. No. So Loki, like I liked it because it filled in a lot of stuff for this whole going into the multiverse, and pretty much they just cash cowed it because they just pretty much showed that they're just gonna make their own money and they can make any movie at this point because all the multiverses and all the strings means that they have.
It's not a cash cow.
Yes, it is.
It
Yes,
follows
it is.
along the
So think about
storylines of the
so think
multiverse.
about so this is what we're talking about before.
He's mad because DC couldn't do it. He's mad.
He's
'cause
mad
DC
'cause
I'm
couldn't
mad.
do it.
DC
I'm
did
mad
it
because
bad.
Warner Brothers is holding them fucking back. It's not DC's fault.
DC did it bad. We've had like the same Batman story like 10 times in a row, and they've like other than the very first one
And-
in the Dark Knight series.
And I'm
like,
telling you, it's
Ugh.
not DC. It's not their fault. It's the production company
Are they
fucking
part of
holding
it?
them back.
Are they part
Warner
of it?
Brothers, yes. They were in fucking Space Jam. Fucking remember Lola Bunny was fucking like, she became a fucking warrior.
Whoa, well, a lot of effings in here with Lola Bunny. What is going on? It's a lot of pent up
She's-
frustration
Because
over
she
there.
was fucking hot and she's still hot in this next movie.
Oh my god, you're not safe for
Who the
anyone to
fuck
watch.
is this? Is
Oh
this
my
fucking
God, both of
Palo?
you. How am I the one that said the least amount of
I think
cuss
I had
words
too
on
much
this
coffee.
show today? Good lord! Oh my god! So for those
Well,
who don't
Palo's
know,
trying to catch up. Palo's trying to
there will-
catch up.
there will be a season 2, so it's going to be interesting. It's going to be a launching point into Doctor Strange and Spider-Man now coming up.
And
It's going
What
to set
If?
the stage for that. And then What If? I think What If's just like a random project that's out
It
there.
is.
So
It is.
for you guys that don't know, at the end of this movie, King the Conqueror essentially is what it's laid the path forward for this movie, and so it's really interesting. I had to familiarize myself with it because I had not really gotten into that part of the MCU when it came to the multiverse aspects of it. So it's really interesting for that fact that they're bringing in such. I think they're expanding the knowledge. They're like forcing to expand the knowledge of people who did not follow comics. And I like it. I like them being able to force feed you a little bits of it, like Doctor Strange now with this multiverse, the
Right.
other portions that were laid out. I think Loki did it in such a great way. Like I thought it was filmed. It was excellent. Like the director, all the production for it. I'm excited to see season 2 with it because it flowed and it never really like lingered in some of the stuff that was going on in it. So
I mean, the only other word you can use in tandem with Marvel is brilliant. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, let's be honest. Let's be honest, guys.
just rubbing Palo the wrong way. He likes to be rubbed the right way. So
Well, apparently he's had neither.
Stop going against the grain.
Apparently my man's dry. He's had neither.
So I mean, I know we talk about like Palo's cash cow because he's jealous that the DC Justice
just
League has
straight
not
up.
been able to
It's
do it.
not
Like, they only-
DC's fault.
They only made the Justice League movie twice before they could actually get it right. And then on top of that, they had to make it like 6 hours long from the 2 hours. So not only did they have to do it twice,
And they're
They
doing
had to do it
Suicide
three-
Squad
they
twice.
had to do it 3 times to do it to get it to just a point where people could watch it.
And
But the what ifs that
it's
are out there, it's
Warner
going to be
Brothers'
anime. Kind of going into this alternate world with some of the MCU movies where if like a different character was a part of part of it. I think it's anime. I think it's a great idea. It's just something different. It was much like the Animatrix when it came out. I love that. Like they all had like a source of like, the spirit of the Matrix within it, but they were just totally different stories that kind of created just a different feel to it. I'm interested in seeing what that is more than some of the movies like with Spider-Man that are going to be coming out. But I do like the Doctor Strange series, so I'm interested in seeing that. I quite enjoyed it, especially all the different Lokis. especially that last one, the alligator Loki.
The alligator,
I had seen
yeah.
pictures of it. I was like, what the F is that? And then even when like the band of them are there, it was just interesting the fact that he was always the one that died in all those universes to get there. But I think it was well done. Especially since I didn't have a lot of big background on the Time Variance Authority. I did that did really well. And then Owen Wilson, he played a great part in all these movies. So I was excited to see that.
Noob, and you got anything? Did you watch one episode at least?
I did. I saw the first, second, and third. And I liked them, but I'm gonna wait until I finish the whole season.
So he's got 3 more to watch. But I think
my God.
who's the main actor's name? Tom is Hiddleston or something like that.
Yeah.
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 I thought it was a
Huddleston?
great part. Huddleston, and then his
Hiddleston.
counterpart. I mean, you probably said it correct than I did.
I mean, it's
And,
no Dreyfus. No Dreyfus.
That
He's no Dreyfus.
That's not gonna go away.
Oh
She's
my
coming.
God.
Every time that we're gonna see her in
Dreyfus
Marvelville.
is coming straight for you, and it's coming straight for you, bro. I don't even know what to say to that. So it's the most ridiculous one from the last episode. But I did like it. Get out there and watch that one. So
You don't have to go anywhere. You can just watch it from your home.
I say go to a friend's house and watch it.
Good old friend. Oh my God.
Do something different.
BD
except
has lost
Halo's
it.
house. Except Halo's house, because his network goes down like every other day.
Don't remind me. It's not my
Gotta
fault.
Gotta love that AT&T dial-up. Oh my God.
All right, ladies and
Close it.
gentlemen. So, what's up, Mr. Pella? Go ahead, sir.
I said close it, sir. I'm done. I'm done.
So, ladies and gentlemen, I think we have definitely had a really good time talking about some great subjects. I want to thank everybody for watching and listening in. Don't forget to check out our social media, as we do have a new TikTok that we will also be putting the link up for, which you can check out some of the stuff that Palo's been doing. He's been doing a good job of putting up some funny stuff. So do us a favor and take a look at that. And thank you.